Cale Arden's blood was not entirely human. He discovered that at the worst possible moment. The ship was dying around him. Alarms screamed in overlapping tones, some sharp and impossible to ignore, others low and heavy, almost like a lament. Artificial gravity flickered, sending tools and debris drifting through the air in slow motion. Beyond the transparent bulkhead, space looked far too calm for a place where thousands were dying every single day. "Hull breach in Sector 3!" someone shouted through the comms. Cale didn't answer. He was on his knees, one hand pressed against his abdomen, feeling something warm slipping between his fingers. The impact had torn through the armor and thrown him violently against the wall. Pain was nothing new to him. He had grown up with it. But this was different. The blood flowing from the wound wasn't red. It shimmered in bluish tones, almost metallic, pulsing with a faint glow, as if it were alive. Cale stared in disbelief. "No," he whispered, more to himself than to anyone else. The ship's medic, Lyra, slid across the unstable floor and dropped beside him. When she saw the wound, she froze, just a second too long to be professional. "Cale," she whispered, "what did you do?" "I don't know," he replied, struggling to breathe. "This isn't normal, is it?" She didn't answer. She activated her portable scanner. The display flickered, recalculated, then locked onto a reading that drained the color from her face. "That isn't human blood," she said quietly. Seconds later, the final impact came. The ship lost power. Silence swallowed everything. Hours later, Cale woke on a medical bed, surrounded by cold white light. The ceiling above him wasn't from a combat ship. It was too smooth, too sterile. A military medical facility. He tried to move, but his body resisted, as if it no longer fully belonged to him. "Don't try," said a calm voice. A man stood beside the bed, tall, rigid posture, uniform without visible insignia. "Where am I?" Cale asked. "Under medical custody and scientific observation." A chill ran down Cale's spine. "My name is Rice Vallon," the commander continued, "and you, soldier, are the most valuable thing this war has ever produced." Cale tried to laugh, but the pain stopped him. "I think you've got the wrong person." Rice leaned forward and activated a hologram. DNA structures rotated in the air, human sequences intertwined with something alien, impossible geometries, patterns that should never have existed together. "You were modified," the commander said, "before you were even born." The ground seemed to vanish beneath Cale. "That's impossible." "It was a classified project," the commander continued, "at the height of the war, when we realized our weapons weren't enough." Cale's memories surfaced all at once. Childhood illnesses no doctor could explain, injuries that healed too fast, reflexes too sharp to be natural. "You did something to me?" His voice trembled. "Not just to you," Rice said, "but you were the only one who survived." The project had a name, Orbit. The idea was simple and monstrous. Integrate alien genetic material directly into human DNA, not prosthetics, not implants, forced evolution. Adapt the human body to interact with alien technology that had always rejected human biology. "They call it heresy," Rice explained. "To the aliens, mixing bloodlines is an unforgivable crime." Cale closed his eyes. "So my blood," he began, "reacts to their technology," the commander finished. "Activates systems, bypasses protocols, grants access where no human has ever entered." Cale opened his eyes, fury burning through him. "You turned me into a key?" Rice didn't deny it. "Into a weapon."
The war beyond the station was going badly. Alien races controlled entire orbits with technology humans barely understood. Ships that regenerated, living shields, weapons that responded only to specific genetic signatures. "And now," Rice said, "we know you're compatible." Kale was released days later, not out of mercy, but necessity. The mission was nearly suicidal. Infiltrate an alien station orbiting a conquered planet. Disable the defense core that made any human assault impossible. "You won't go alone," Lyra said as she helped Kale into his combat suit. "But be honest with me." She hesitated. "Do you still feel human?" Kale took a moment before answering. "I feel anger, fear, pain. If that isn't human, then maybe we never were." The approach to the station was silent. A massive organic monolith floated in the void, pulsing like a colossal heart. When Kale placed his hand against its surface, something responded. The station recognized him. Doors opened. "That shouldn't be possible," one of the soldiers whispered. But alien sensors awakened. Creatures emerged from the corridors, tall, elongated forms, eyes burning with hostility. When they saw Kale, they stopped, not out of fear, out of horror. "He is profane," a voice echoed directly in Kale's mind. "Stolen blood, corrupted form." Something inside Kale answered, not words, instinct. "I didn't ask for this," he said aloud, "but you didn't give me a choice either." The fight erupted. Energy blasts tore through living walls. Human soldiers fell, but Kale kept moving. Every system he touched unlocked. Every barrier recognized him as something familiar and deeply wrong. At the heart of the station, he found something unexpected, an alien child, small, fragile, bound to organic cables and interfaces. "A living interface," the alien voice explained. "Our future." Kale understood instantly. They were doing the same thing humans had done to him, using children. The truth nearly broke him. "If I shut this down," he whispered, "the station collapses, along with the entire fleet in orbit," Lyra said over comms. Kale stepped closer to the child. It opened its eyes and looked at Kale. No hatred, no fear, only confusion. "I won't repeat this," Kale said firmly. He changed the commands, redirected power, sabotage to the core without killing the child. The station entered a controlled shutdown, its defenses collapsing. Human ships attacked. The victory was swift. The silence afterwards was not. Kale returned as a hero, but everything had changed. The aliens now knew. They knew humans could carry their blood, that genetic purity was a lie, that the war was no longer just technological, but existential. Rice visited Kale days later. "You could have won faster," the commander said. "You chose the harder path." "I chose not to become you," Kale replied. Rice sighed. "The galaxy won't forgive that." Kale looked out through the viewport at the planet below. "Then maybe it's time we redefined what winning means." The blood in his veins still glowed. Human, alien, something new. And for the first time since the war began, Kale felt that the future was still a choice.